Is Quartzsite toxic? Hi everyone, Eric here from the Nomadic Fanatic channel. Thank you for joining me on the channel today. I will be uploading this video with some Connecten internet. Oh, don't block chunks. Connecten internet. A link in the video description below. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, today we're going to talk about, is Quartzsite a toxic place to be? I have spent years wintering in Quartzsite, Arizona. The weather is usually pretty darn good. This December 2025, we have already broken several records in Quartzsite for high temperatures. Every day, 70 plus degrees. We even hit 81 last week. 81 degrees was a record that was smashed from like 55 years ago. So it's been particularly warm and comfortable in December. There's almost no place like it. Because RVing in the winter in freezing conditions sucks. Sucks when you're not plugged into power. There's a lot of tricky things that you have to do in the winter if you're boondocking to keep your pipes from freezing. You know, you gotta keep the water running, you gotta heat. So I have, for many years, enjoyed going to Quartzsite and spending the winter in Quartzsite. So you all know that about me. And before I go any farther on this video, be sure to understand that I have some amazing, wonderful, loyal friends in Quartzsite. I have made new friends. I have returning friends. I know a lot of really, really good people in Quartzsite, despite where I'm going with this video. So don't let me forget that there are some really wonderful, good friends out there that I trust with my life, and that I would stick up for, and that I would like to see again. It's not like I don't want to go back to Quartzsite, but as this video implies, I kind of don't want to go back to Quartzsite. Because Quartzsite is not just about good weather. Quartzsite is about, there's the social aspect. And I know there's a lot of people that aren't very social, and they just like the nature part of Quartzsite, but Quartzsite as a whole, it is social. It's about the gatherings, whether those gatherings are at a little circle that you made with 6 RVs and having a campfire each night, or sharing a coffee in the morning. It's the relationships that you build. It's singing karaoke. It's going out and eating pizza. It's having a beer with friends and socializing. That is a big part of Quartzsite, at least for me and many people that I know. There's also some other things. There's the big tent that gets raised, and then you get to go see all these cool other RVers and RV parts and new RVs and the swap meets. So many people selling used junks if you like to collect things. And then there's the dark side of Quartzsite, Arizona. It's a tiny little town out in the desert that 8-9 months out of the year, there's nothing going on. It's got a population under like 1,000 people. And then all of a sudden, bam, the winter hits. 500,000 people. 500,000 people from all walks of life just right in one spot. And in this massive desert of Arizona, there's still issues with noise and space, common courtesy. Just a lack of respect is so common to just not be respected by your neighbors. The mental illness, the massive amount of people that are dealing with drug abuse, and the violence. This is something that a lot of other people that review Quartzsite or do make YouTube channels all winter won't share with you, but they also won't deny. The law enforcement presence, especially just in La Posa South, is amazing. How many reports they come out to. Yes, a lot of them have to do with drinking. A lot of them have to do with just too many people in one space. And then I was hearing from a friend that what La Paz County actually has to do is bring in extra people from other communities like Yuma and outside, and temporarily house them and have them work out of La Paz County, based out of Parker, Arizona. And so, you know, they've got to come down here and deal with this. I mean, I don't even know what the percent difference is in population just right now going on in Quartzsite, but it is nonstop police officers in and out, and they are not just doing patrols. They are coming to nonstop issues going on out in the desert. It's crazy the amount of police presence out here. It's disturbing how many times they have to come out. Now, I know crime is going to be anywhere. I can't just say that Quartzsite, Arizona is specific for a massive amount of crime, theft, violence, domestic violence, overdoses. That's going to happen anywhere. I understand that, but is this really what we came out to Quartzsite for? You know, like, I was passed out, sleeping in my RV at 3 a.m., inside my RV in the middle of the desert, and I start hearing this woman screaming. I mean, screaming. And I'm trying to, Eric, it's not your problem. It's not your problem. Ignore it. It's just some domestic dispute. Just let them have it. I know it's 3 a.m. We're going to go back to sleep. But then her cries and screams turned into, help, somebody help me. I need help. I don't know. Help is one of those words I can't ignore that. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know if it's an ambush. Do I really want to get myself into this situation of somebody being chased by a gunman or something? I can't. Somebody needs help. Put on my pants, my shoes, get my flashlight, my phone. I go outside. I locate her. She's completely high. I mean, completely on drugs, tweaking, by herself, half naked, screaming, help, help, help. I can't help you. I'm gonna call some help for you. No, I don't need that. If you can't help me, and then she goes screaming off, and I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. No matter where you're camping in La Posa South, it is almost an every night thing. And unlike me, there's lots of people who don't quiet down at 10 p.m., the actual posted quiet time. There are people that party all night long with bass thumping, screaming, everything. It is insane how disrespectful some people can be out there. And I think that's something that needs to be said. So is Quartzsite, specifically the long-term visitor areas, safe? Is it safe? It can be. If you're with a good, trusted group and you have distanced yourself away from the craziness. If you've gone out here to form your group of people that trust and people that keep eyes out and ears out, and you stay away from those temptations to go join some random karaoke party that's, you know, loud enough for the whole desert to hear just because you're curious. And personally myself, as a YouTuber, I have a lot of people trying to put themselves into my life. Trying to invite themselves into my life, be a part of my life. I mean, I offered free movie nights one time. I will never do that again. That was probably a bad idea because there were people who came in that I didn't know. I was meeting them for the first time. And one of them in particular turns out to be a very, very scary, disrespectful, stalking, harassing individual on YouTube. And he's proud of it. He wants everybody to know, that's what I do. I go around and harass people. I'm like, wow. So there's that part of it. And you got to think, me, Eric, you guys know me. Generally speaking, I don't put myself in a situation where everybody knows where I'm at live. 242,000 subscribers. And everybody knows that right now, right today, as this video is going, Eric is here. Eric is going here. Eric's doing this today. That doesn't happen too often in my life. So that makes Quartzsite in general a very unique situation for me. And it makes me vulnerable. I think actually Quartzsite is the only place in 12 years of vlogging where it's been like this for me. Yeah, between this video that I'm making right now and my last video out in YouTube, just that 3 days, I'm sure you've heard the rumors. That's why my comments are turned off right now. You've heard the rumors of what's gone in. Everybody's been filling in the gaps. One thing is said, one thing that's not been confirmed is then called a fact, and blah, blah, blah. It's a mess. It's a mess out there right now, but it's not happening. I mean, but people think that that when it's ignored by me or it's not brought up by me, if I don't address it, if I don't right every single wrong, if I don't correct every rumor being said, then Eric is essentially confirming it by not putting out a video right now to say, I'm not doing it. I'm not the guy. I didn't start this channel to make it all about stupid drama that has nothing to do with me for no reason. A simple task of physically moving my tent to a safer place sparked all of this incredible crap. I mean, I've already heard that I'm in jail in Blythe, California, and that thieves took my tent and salvaged it. Okay, I'm not going to get into it all. I don't have time for this, guys. I really don't have time for this. But Eric didn't say he gave them permission, so they must have stole it. Why do I have to make a video as soon as I sell something to let... Okay, enough of that. I will say, and I'm not going to put words into her mouth, but I will let you know that my feelings on Quartzsite now have already been shared with several friends. And Diana, especially. That's why Diana didn't even come to Quartzsite this year. She does not have a good taste about Quartzsite. And the more times I come here and the more times I spend, I tend to feel the same exact way. I'm not going to speak for her, though, but I will let you know she kind of agrees with my whole feelings on Quartzsite now. Those LTVAs, they are massive areas. There are 6 of them, and they are massive, open out in the desert. Now, tell me, why is it necessary for everyone to jam-pack into one tiny little crazy section and only utilize 5% of the lands that are available in the LTVAs? It's just... I've been guilty too, although I have spent some considerable amount of time away from those areas. The farther you get away, though, it's tricky, because then is your stuff safe out there? There's no one there to watch your stuff. So you kind of, there's that weird balance, right? You got to be close enough to friends so that you can have them watch your stuff if you have to go to the store. But also, you know, you don't want to be completely alone and have nobody to hear your screams if something happens to you out there, right? So there's that weird thing. I get that. But I mean, yeah, it's a massive area out in the LTVAs, and not much of it is being used because people would rather just be very, very close proximity. And I think that's what causes a lot of the crazy stuff that goes on, really. My winter options, as I call them, you know, to be in a comfortable area climate-wise and not freeze, they're very limited, actually, for me. Diana did invite me to stay at her house for the whole winter, where she's staying and working on the house there, but there's nowhere for my bus to park. There's nowhere for me to be in that concentrated area of California. Even if the weather is nice there, it's just not an option. So in order for me to see her and spend time, I have to be away in a safe spot and then kind of commute back and forth from the city to the, you know, it's complicated, but, you know. Oh, Opie's also up on the tree up there. Hey, Opes. And Tara is... I don't know where Tara is exactly. Tara? Oh, she's probably on the bed. I got the heated blanket on for her. Ironically, a strange peace has come over me since I left Quartzsite. Well, that's probably the 3rd time I've put it in the past tense. I'm not in Quartzsite anymore, okay? But a strange peace has come over me all of a sudden, in the cats. I was bullied, stalked, harassed, and then accused of being in several different altercations. It's just a mess. I've lost new friends. Well, they probably weren't friends. They were probably just Quartzsite acquaintances. But in the meantime, I have also met new friends also in the short time being there at Quartzsite, and strengthened some of my other friendships. So that's good. I know the difference now. I know the difference after 12 years on YouTube between an acquaintance and a really good friend that you can trust. Someone that later on you actually really, really want to spend time with that person, with those people, with that group, with that tribe. And I had that in Quartzsite. But I messed that up by going outside my comfort boundaries and hanging out with other people. I ruined it. I ruined it for myself. So I'm torn. Is Quartzsite toxic? Yes, but also it's up to you. It's up to you to control it to a certain extent. You can't control everybody who comes up to you. You don't know what kind of drugs they're on and what they're ready to do and how they're feeling and what their mental illnesses are. You can't control that. Sometimes as a YouTuber, you have to just, hi, shake your hand and just be careful, right? You don't know. You really don't know. Unfortunately, in this genre that I've chosen to put myself into, I got to smile and say hi to everybody, you know? Quartzsite could be safe. Is it? Not for me. Not for me, and not for many others. And I know ugly people can be anywhere, not just in Quartzsite. They can be anywhere. I understand that. It's not unique to Quartzsite. And I'm not here to slander anybody. I'm just saying Quartzsite's not for me. I will miss my good friends, but I hope to see them in another way later, in a different location later. Yeah. I'm focusing and working on myself mostly right now. With the thanks of this book, Let Them, I'm only like 1/3 into it, but this is a great, there's a lot of tools in here. There's a lot of practical applications in here. There's a lot of stuff that just like, oh my gosh, it makes so much sense. And it's like, I can't wait to try that out, you know? So I've already started doing that here, taking a break from Quartzsite. So I like that book. More working on myself. You know, I was really excited about making it 41 days sober, and it wasn't even hard to stop drinking. 41 days, and then I came back to Quartzsite, and it's like that trigger thing. I mean, it's actually exactly like that. I mean, if you're in AA and they tell you, you know, you're an alcoholic, you can't go hang out with those people that want to drink. So what did I do? I left Mississippi and parked in Quartzsite, Arizona. Eric, really? Of course I started drinking again, you know? I am now 4 days sober, so we're starting over from scratch again. 4 days sober, and I've got a clearer mind, and I feel better, and I'm, again, focusing on myself. That's all I can do. Little teaser, little glimpse into the future. While I may still do some personal vlogging of building up Tater Acres next year, I am working to transition myself off of personal vlogging on this channel. I know quite a few YouTubers who have done the same, feeling the same way I am, just exhausted by constantly having to share so much personal information and then be degraded and harassed for it and judged, and just every choice you make is just scrutinized in such a petty way. It's exhausting, you know. I'm reminded by a big YouTuber that influenced me to start my channel, Chris Travels. If you know him, he started in a big gray Zeppelin van. Travels with, it was just called Chris Travels. There's a couple Chris Travels, but I'm talking about Chris Travels that I interviewed during my documentary. I went to him when he flew into Seattle to pick up his van, and he told me the same thing after that interview. He said, Eric, I mean, this is such a successful channel, but I'm tired of being so emotional and having to share all this personal vlogging stuff all the time. I'm going to make a change. And I remember taking that personally. Like, no, Chris, you can't stop personal vlogging. I love when you show the inside of your bus and how you live in it and how you travel and stuff like that. He's like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it for my own well-being anymore. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. Well, that worked out pretty well for him. Chris Travels turned into Tiny Home Tours, which now has 1.7 million subscribers, and Chris was able to take all of his skills and his joy of writing a script and then filming and then editing and adding music and telling a story that Chris's own tour videos on Tiny Home Tours channel, you don't even hear his voice. The only thing that Chris is involved in is the entire creation of it. It's someone else telling the story from their tiny house, and he just edits together in a beautiful piece every time. A smart guy. I should learn from Chris Travels. He made a good choice. That worked out well. Diana recently mentioned Disney, and I'm reminded by another Disney channel that I'm subscribed to on YouTube, DFB Food Guide, which is all about Disney foodies and stuff like that. Well, the creator and producer of that channel, you never even get to see her face. You only get to hear her voice narrating, as she has other people that are paid to go out and be her eyes and ears and taste buds to tell her about what they like. She'll actually say, we tried this, but we really didn't like this. She didn't try anything. She's just saying what her people, she has people out there working in Disney to bring her back content. Man, she has 1 million subscribers too, and actually puts together also very neat, precise videos that I like and admire. Why does Steve Wallace have 2 million subscribers? I'll give you a hint. It's not just because he does camping with Steve videos. He does the crazy things that nobody else will do. Creating and living in and camping in a pallet RV. It looks like a load of pallets, and he's secretly living inside stealthily. No one's going to think of that. No one's going to do that. He built a fake bear trap on a trailer and parked it just on the trailer in a site of a campground, then removed the vehicle and got everybody's reaction and slept and camped inside that stealth bear trap. He, just a dump truck. He stayed in a dump truck. He camped out behind a police. He does things that nobody else is doing. So I'm reading into all this. It's like, what makes someone successful? How do you change things? And so I'm taking notes. Well, as it turns out, like I said, I've been very peaceful here. The cats are very, very relaxed. I actually got really excited. I had my epiphany. I had my vision for the future right here. And it's going to change in 2026, guys. It gave me goosebumps. It made my hands shake. I got a lot of planning resources and research to do in the meantime. But it's there. It's there. It's bubbling in the background. We'll unveil that next year. Kind of slide that in with building Tater Acres. But I do ask that you just be patient with me, guys, making videos for the rest of the month. Christmas is coming up. I've got some plans. I've got some things I want to do. I need to worry about myself, take care of myself and my health. And so I will keep you updated as much as I can, but don't worry if you don't see or hear from me. And again, don't look too much into the rumors between now and the next time you see me. Okay? Okay? Be good. Love y'all. Be well. We'll see you in a few days. Bye-bye.